We're going to head out to Channel 3 Eyewitness News anchor Greg Glover, who's been following this developing story all day. How about it, Greg?
David, this company is known for naming a few of the models of cars it produces for the win. So we got a gusty day out here at Enterprise South today, but just about the right time, the clouds began to part, the sun came out, and we in the States know how to raise a barn. I guess in the 90s, you may have raised a roof or two at a party. Well, today the Germans taught us how to raise a wall, and it went a little something like this.
Welcome to Volkswagen in Chattanooga. Welcome to our future home.
With great ceremony and dignitaries and press from all across the globe, Volkswagen officially put its mark on Chattanooga. The wall raising was a new twist, but appropriate.
We celebrate this year that 20 years ago, the wall came down in Berlin, and now I helped to put up a wall, so that's new for me too.
With the billion-dollar plant going up behind them, all of the speakers addressed the state of the economy and expressed their faith in a turnaround.
We've all been hearing about the challenges of the automobile industry. It's not unusual for analysts to throw words like crisis around. But I have to say that during all of our discussions about Volkswagen locating a plant in Tennessee, not once did our partners ever waver. And the latest indication of the company's confidence in our state and in this community is being seen here today.
When it comes to stimulus money and the way it is spent to put the economy back on track, this is not the time to turn inward. This is not the time to resort to protectionist measures, neither at the federal level nor at the state or at the municipality level.
So it's full speed ahead at Enterprise South. Volkswagen's foot is firmly on the accelerator.
Our mission is to bring Volkswagen into the hearts and minds of the American people. That is where we belong. I don't know about you, but I feel that here in Chattanooga, this mission is already a reality.
That was Dr. Johann Heisman, who is on the board of Volkswagen. The other gentleman you saw there was the German ambassador, who is also visiting today. Throughout this whole process, there have been those that said this day would never come because of the economy, because of the state of the auto industry, and perhaps because of Chattanooga's past record at landing the big one. Well, Chattanooga Mayor Ron Littlefield had this to say to the naysayers today.
Today is a celebration of a project very much in process. And if there are any doubters out there, and there's still a few, I know, who haven't bothered to drive out here and see all that's happening here, this should lay that to rest.
Should lay it to rest, he said. My colleague Rachel Weathers joins me. And the economy, the state of the auto industry was also a big topic at a news conference they held before the big ceremony that you attended. What did the Volkswagen execs have to say, Rachel?
Well, it's interesting, those naysayers that Mayor Littlefield talked about. A lot of times it can be reporters saying, how in the world are you going to build $1 billion assembly plant when the economy is so bad? Volkswagen executives today, standing in the tent, were telling us not only are they going to build it, but it's going to be better, bigger than they ever imagined.
I think there's no better time to do it because if we would do it after the economy has recovered, then it's just too late.
It's the answer to the question everyone wants to ask, but so many are afraid to say out loud. Today, Volkswagen's top executives stood together at Enterprise South and explained why putting the brakes on a new American assembly plant would be the automaker's biggest mistake, even in an economy as tough as this one.
Like our competitors, we sold fewer cars in the United States last year, and we are selling fewer cars this year. But the market share of our Volkswagen brand increased 36% in the first 4 months this year.
And we are moving forward because we know business will pick up again, consumer confidence will recover, and Volkswagen needs to be ready.
Ready for what VW predicts will be a surge in demand for new vehicles come 2011. The automaker is so confident, in fact, the body shop and assembly plant are being built bigger than first planned. All of this and construction on the Chattanooga facility is still ahead of schedule.
We don't want to talk about it right now. Let's see, otherwise the expectations are too high and we still have a lot of work in front of us.
A lot of work indeed, because they are going to build the body shop and the assembly plant 26,000 square feet bigger than first talked about when they were first talking about building the plant here. So what does that mean? That means they can build 900 cars a day instead of 560. So a lot of talk about why this is going to happen, when it's going to happen. Coming up at 5:30, we'll talk about why Chattanooga, because they did spend a great deal of time talking about that today as well, Greg.
I look forward to that report. Speaking of why Chattanooga, there were a lot of Chattanoogans and Hamilton Countyans in the audience today that had big smiles on their faces. Happy, perhaps today, just as happy as they were in July when the big announcement was made. One of those people, County Mayor Claude Ramsey, and here's his reaction to the big wall raising today.
The feelings just get better. The closer to that first automobile coming off the floor, that's how much better it gets every day.
The mayor said that if he had one wish, he would make that wish to be a little younger so he could see exactly what this plant turns into as the years go on. We'll have more for you, of course, coming up at both 5:30 and 6 here at Enterprise South. The show is over. The loadout continues. It appears behind me, construction is still going on. So we'll be back out here to bring you more from today's big events just a little later on. For now, for Rachel Weathers, I'm Greg Glover, live at Enterprise South, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Greg.